Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Good Morning Britain desperately needs presenter Axe if it's going to save. After 11 years, Good Morning Britain is stuck in a rut, and producers need to reconsider their content and lineup rather than giving them an extra 30 minutes. Good Morning Britain was one of the only winners of the ITV scheduled shake-up announced earlier this week. From January 2026, the show is set to add 30 extra minutes to its running time for 30 weeks of the year and an hour extra for the rest of the year in the weeks Lorraine Kelly's show isn't running. This extension seems to be an attempt to bring them in line with their rival BBC Breakfast, which extended its running time last year and now airs until 9:30 a.m. daily. However, this is not a good enough reason to add time to a show that already often struggles to fill its time slot. Producers really need to take a look at the show, rather than just throwing an extra half-hour of filler at viewers and hoping they won't change the channel. Love him or hate him, during Piers Morgan's tenure on the show, it was always engaging. He was as comfortable and forthright chatting to politicians as he was to celebrities, and wasn't afraid to ask difficult questions or share controversial opinions. The current crop of presenters are more concerned with being popular. To be a disruptor could affect their lucrative side hustles, such as radio shows and newspaper columns, which they got as a direct result of the show. This is a bad trait in presenters on a show that is heavily reliant on their interviewing skills. In one of their most ridiculous current presenter scenarios, the show has a serious issue at the moment with bias. One of the main presenters, Ed Balls, is married to Home Secretary Yvette Cooper, a conflict of interest that has been slammed by viewers. This puts the show in the ludicrous position where he has to disappear from screens when she is being interviewed. It also calls into question just how neutral he is when interviewing her party colleagues, who are also often friends of his. Indeed, as a former MP, many of his political guests are his friend or acquaintance. Generally, these politicians hop between all the morning news show and a quick glance at the same guest on Sky News or even BBC Breakfast indicates Good Morning Britain aren't exactly going for the jugular with their questioning compared to their rivals. While this is hardly ideal for a news-based show, it is preferable to their lighter fare. Every single presenter, including the entertainment editor Richard Arnold, find it impossible to interview anyone remotely well-known without fawning over them. In one particularly cringeworthy incident in May 2024, Susanna Reid and Ed Balls interviewed casualty legend Derek Thompson. Susanna had starred opposite him in The Price when she was a child, and she somehow managed to make this the crux of the interview as she simpered her way through it, rather than his role in Blue Lights, which he was there to discuss. It is truly embarrassing to watch them conduct showbiz interviews. As someone who has to do my fair share of celebrity interviews, I can assure you I would be fired if I giggled and preed through them as they do, while not getting any real information from the subject. Despite this, they are obsessed with star power on the show, often getting celebrities to cover what would be considered proper journalistic roles. Especially embarrassing was the time blues singer Duncan James covered for Richard Arnold. It was like a Z-list variant of Variety's Actors on Actors, where he gushed over his mates, including celebrity Big Brother winner David Potts. It was a classic example of style over substance. He had more interest in his camera angles than in finding actual stories. I met Duncan a couple of times at the height of blues fame, and he is a thoroughly nice chap, but a dreadful showbiz reporter. Yet Good Morning Britain didn't care. After 11 years on air, the show has slipped into complacency, and that is never a good thing. The presenters are dialing it in. A quick glance at social media shows several of them are extremely unpopular with the public, and they assume people will just keep watching and throw ever more inept and insulting content at us. The most recent episode saw a report on the strawberry harvest, which, given all that is happening in the world, was the last straw for some viewers who switched off, Unless they take a long, hard look at what they are offering viewers, their extra 30 minutes will be broadcasting into an echo chamber.